Morning. Today is the 30th of July and here we are at the British Motor Museum at Gaydon in Warwickshire for the 2025 BMC Leyland show. I do apologise in advance for the wind noise if I fall over, if I get things wrong, if I get interrupted. I'm afraid it's just the way that it goes on this channel. So let's have a look at this Austin A40. This is the A40 Sports model from 1952. This was made by Jensen actually, they were manufactured by them. The sister car to them was the Jensen Interceptor, not the one you're thinking of, but the earlier one. And they do look quite similar if you put them side by side, but these are a lot smaller than the Interceptors. They're based on the chassis of the standard A40. We've got some more Austin County's car action happening here. Much bigger than that last one. Is that an A70 or something, viewers? I'm so bad on these things, I have absolutely no idea. Wellsbourne Garage is not too far from here actually, Wellsbourne. This is van version, I can't remember, again maybe an A70, I can't remember now, viewers. That's how bad my knowledge is, but very nice. Another one of these immediately post-war Austins, big old thing, isn't it? It's a very handsome looking car. It's an Austin 16 and then another MG Maestro Turbo. We saw one of these earlier on. They are actually, in this sort of condition, very, very valuable cars now. And I can understand why. We've got the correct wheels on here, these lattice wheels. I've driven a standard MG Maestro. It was this colour, it was a 91, one of the last of them, with a 2-litre injection engine. But that would be, well, a bit more exciting. So I've got a little display here from the Standard Motor Club. These cars are the same sort of era as the Austin County's cars we just saw. Standard Vanguard, Portsmouth plate. Let's have a look here and see what it says. A status is called. This is a 1952 Phase 1A. Tiny rear lights on those, aren't they? And this is the van version. Again, around the same sort of era, I think. Very slightly different lights, so probably not a Phase 1A, something else. Someone else can tell me in the comment section below, because I've no idea about standard models really, I'm afraid, viewers. And then we've got a much later Vanguard. I think this is a Vignale or something. I'll look at the information sheet because I'm very ignorant.
You'll have to open them while I get my coffee.
There we go, yeah, Vanguard Vignale. This is a 1959. Very, very typical colour of the late 50s. This sort of two-tone, I don't know how you describe it, like beige and violet or something, I don't know. Crazy. It was something altogether much, much older. Goodness gracious me. I don't even know what year that is. That's probably about 100 years old, isn't it, that? So standard 10, I think this is a standard 10 companion, which is the estate model. Unlike the basic 8s that came out in 53, which don't even get opening boots, some of those, it's actually got lots of space for all your things. In fact, here is a standard 8. Now, this has an opening boot lid, it's one of the later ones. This is a 57, a Gold Star Saloon. My gosh, another car that I found. Hello sir. 1979 Allegro 1500 Estate, which I filmed in 2023. There we go, it's a late Series 2 car. Anyway, this particular standard 10 has got a 1.5 series engine from Spitfire, which means it's a little bit faster, although the basic engine design is the same. It's got the standard SC engine, and when it was launched with standard 8 in 1953, it had an 800cc capacity. The later evolution, the Spitfire and other cars in the 70s was a 1.5. I'm surprised it fits then. Standard 12 1934, and then a Herald, which was marketed as a standard Herald in some parts of the world actually. This one, what's the date on this receipt? 1959. It's a very very early one. I think it was a 948cc originally. I don't think I've ever seen one this early before, viewers. Fantastic. I remember onto the Nash Metropolitans these things are. They were marketed over here actually. I think the later cars were just called the Metropolitan. The early ones are the Nash Metropolitan. Definitely American sort of drive-in restaurant there. Excellent. And here's a right-hand drive one. I thought these carried the Austin badges in this country, but clearly not. Absolutely amazing. Made by Austin and using the B series engine, the first of 1.2 and a 1.5. They look like nothing else around at the time, don't they? So you know, if you've watched the channel for a while, that the Minivans, this is a 1980 to 81 example, used the Mark 1 front end, door handles, windows and that sort of thing right until the end of production in 1982. This being a late car, we've still got the standard grille on there. For the reason they just decided that they didn't need to bother updating it for the commercial versions. It's a police version registered in August 1980. There we go. I'll just skip these views because we don't talk about certain cars on the channel, and we will go on to this one here. Hopefully we're actually okay with this one. We'll soon find out, and I'll have to cut the video if not. So Maestro's finished production actually at Cowley about 1994. They continued much later than that though. First of all in Bulgaria, and then later when the Rotor car factory didn't actually produce as many cars as they imagined. They re-imported a lot of the kits to this country, and they assembled them using a right-hand drive dashboard by two companies, Apple 2000 in Bury St Edmunds, and then I think Parkway Motor Services at Ledbury, and the last one of those registered in 2001. So this is one of the latest sort of standard Maestros, 93, 94 on an L, and then we get much later. I kind of forget whether this one is actually a Ledbury one or an Apple 2000 one. I suspect with the left-hand drive wipers it's an Apple 2000 one, but I could be wrong. 1997 registration. And this one is owned by Steve, who I haven't met before. He has an amazing knowledge of Maestros and Montegos, unlike anyone else I know. And he's put a Rotor car badge on it. Now, I wouldn't have had that. Even the Rotor car versions built in Bulgaria didn't actually have the badge on the front of that, but it said Maestro as well. But this is the one built in Bulgaria. They're sort of based on Clubman spec, really, of a 1.3 A series engine in them. That one carries a sort of 95, 96 plate. And we got some earlier Maestros here, 1.3L, which sort of looks quite smart with the wheel trims on it. 87, 88 on an E, with the later dash. The dash came in February 86. Still only got a full-speed gearbox. We're not really very luxurious in here at the moment, viewers. We need a bit more luxury, really, if it's going to be the sort of car I would like to keep. This car here on a C plate has the earlier dash in it. So it'll be 85 to 86 on a C, and that is Maestro City, which was quite low down the range. Better is this LX model, 1.6, 89 to 90 on a G. You can see we've actually got automatic gearbox in there. The SL, I think, had a rev counter in it, so LX is still not quite what we'd like, but it's getting there. Then another MG Maestro. This one is another turbo in red, 89 to 90 plate. Again, in this sort of condition, very valuable now, and extraordinary. And then we've got an SL, which was sort of like a replacement for something like a Mayfair, sort of. Again, this SL still doesn't have a rev counter in it, so it's not that luxurious. It's all right. It's probably got electric windows and things like that. But we want a Van den Pla views or a Mayfair. That's what we really want. Little do they. 88, 89 and an F. Now, no Austin badge by this stage. Austin badge was removed from the car as 87. And we've got a Montego Estate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Quite an early one. The Estate came out, I think, in 1985. The Estates came out. Not a bad looking car, actually. Really, not bad at all. It's a 1.6 HL, 8586 on a C. Of course, a variety of stickers from channels which you might have heard of before. Facelift Montego 8889 on an F. It's the 2 litre injection model. You can see that the rear end and the front end are a little bit different from the previous one. The facelift occurred kind of late 1988. There we go, 2 litre O series engine with fuel injection. I have driven one of these actually. It was again around the sort of era, like an 89 I think it was the one I drove. Do we have another Maestro Turbo here, viewers? Yes, we do. Excellent. That's 4 so far. That's not bad, viewers. We're doing well today, aren't we? We're doing well with these. And then we've got another MG Maestro. This is an earlier one actually, with these wheels on it. It's actually a very early one because it's got the electronic talking dash in it. So this would be a 1600. They didn't make them very long actually, a 1600. Not long at all. They were discontinued in 1984. So that one I think would have the S series in it. And then we've got a modified Montego Estate with the T series turbo, which is probably absolutely bonkers fast. Not a problem though. We'd like this viewers, and we've got some seats in here that look like they're off an R8. They probably are actually. And the PG1 gearbox, which is fine. Quite a late Montego actually, 94-95 registration. And then yet another MG Maestro Turbo with lots and lots of bits in there, showing off the practicality of the Maestro's hatchback design. Yes, there we go. And then a little Mini here for some reason. I don't know what it's doing here, but there we go. Yes, we're doing well, viewers. That isn't a coupe, by the way, but it's far too late for that. So the 82, 83 would be just a standard Mini, probably in Mayfair or something, I don't know. And then an MG ZS 180. We drove one of these on the channel actually quite recently. 2003, this one is very similar to the 2002 car I drove at Great British Car Journey back in April. Right, viewers, tasty stuff going on here. A Metro Vanden Plas, late one. F, so 88, 89. By this stage, the Vanden Plas Metro was fantastic. Look at these wheels, look at this leather interior. This one has wood, no power steering unfortunately, but I think we've got electric windows, and this will have the MG tuned version of the A series. I think it's 72 horsepower, so quite nippy really, so that's very good. Next to it we've got this Metro from a little bit earlier. This one will have the exact year on it, there we go, 1988. By this stage, no Boston badges. This car's also had some early MG Metro wheels fitted to it because it's a lot easier to find tyres for those than it is for the standard steel wheels. By contrast, here's an early Vanden Plas, one I drove in 2021 actually. This will be sort of about an 82, which has the very distinctive upholstery with the wooden door caps in it. The one I drove actually had a modified engine, so it had about 80 horsepower. This will be a little bit less. But you can see the early and the late Vanden Plas do look quite different, particularly as the 5-door Metros didn't come out until 1984, so this is sort of 82, 83. Same colour as the one I drove as well. I wonder if the chaps know each other. Right, anyway, 1998, 1999 Rover 100 would have been made in 97 because production actually finished in late 97 because of, well, the most disastrous crash test ever. Don't crash at Rover 100 viewers, that's my advice. Anyway, 114 SLI, sort of relatively high up the range, but not quite at the top. And then a lovely 1989 to 1990 Metro Advantage. They had some MG features on them, they weren't quite really up to the same sort of standard. Still very nice though. These are quite rare now, Metro Advantages. They look nice actually. Even nicer probably is this Rover Metro. Now this is one of the sporty ones. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the full fat GTI. It is, it's the 16 valve version of the K series, so quite a lot of power for a little car actually, even from just 1.4 litres. By contrast, this is an MG Metro 1300, an early one. These came out in 1982. We've got some driving lights in here and the grille, so 83, 84 registration. And then another early MG Metro with headlamp washers, very posh. Correct wheels and everything. So 82, 83 on a Y. And then one of the last Mini Metro badges. They removed the Mini Metro badge in 1982 and they just replaced it with Metro because of a legal dispute they had with Metro Campbell had ended by then. Very basic one, just nothing really, no rev counter, no passenger mirror, no rear wiper, absolutely nothing. Some of you will think that's brilliant. I think I need my Van den Ploegh back, but that's just me. Then we have this HLE with the later MG Metro wheels, owned by Neil, who brings a lot of shows. I think he should have the engine and gearbox rebuilt in this actually. This is an 83 from memory. Then my friend Dave's car is here. This is an 87, 88 Metro 1300. He's got some slightly earlier wheels on it. Now you can put later wheels on there or have the early wheels. It's not what you prefer really, isn't it? It just depends on personal preference. 86, 87 Metro with a badge that's actually off the cars from sort of 87 onwards without the Austin badge. This would have had the Austin badge on it originally, and someone's changed the wheels again because the tyres for the steer wheels are really hard to find. So that's a 1.3 City X. Then we go on to the Morris Marina Owners Club stand. Of course, they have a towels in there as well. Start off with this early Marina Coupe, which is from about 1973. So it's got the lowest spec grille on it, which suggests it originally was a 1.3, even if it isn't now. It's a super coupe. Some later seats have been put in here. Original sort of flat type dashboard. The later dashboards had the radio facing away from the driver, which was really strange. So you got 1275 GT badge on there. Then in the Tal, I really like the Tal for some reason, dude. I'm a very strange person and I quite like them. This one is an 81, 82 on an X. It's a 1.7 HLS. They did also do a 2-litre HLS with vinyl roof. It looks very 70s, even if it's a 1981, 82 car. Sorry, there we go, an 81 it says on there. Very late Marina, late registration, 1980 to 1981 on a W. If that information sheet might give me some more information. Tara green metallic. Very nice. They got something a little bit earlier, a 1.3 Marina Series 1 from 1973-74. Someone's very proudly put the Leyland roundel on the gear lever. Again, a 1.3, judging by that front end. 1973, and called Mabel. Even more work going on there recently. And there's this car, which again, like the green one, is a late registered Marina. I think this was registered in 1981, this particular car. It was going to go out to, I think, someone random, like the sort of the Gulf States or something like that, but it never did and stayed over here. Then we've got a special edition Marina, actually. This one's this Marina E. Have a look at the back end, shall we? Coupes were made this way. I've driven a 79 coupe, so you know that. Marina E Special. Coupes still relatively practical, actually. They are sort of not bad looking cars. And then another Ital with a rev counter. It must be a posh one with a rev counter. My gosh, viewers. Ultra luxury. And we've got a 1.8 TC saloon. This is a Series 1 Jubilee. Can't remember the name of this colour now, like citrus yellow or something. I can't remember now. Yeah, we're in a TC 73, 74 registration. Then 79 to 80 Marina Series 3. Very nice, actually. It's for sale too. Call Mike on 07456 834 520. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. It's a 1700L, that particular car, with the O Series engine. A little bit earlier, a Series 2 Marina. Again, quite a nice high spec one actually, this one. Say the HL, 1.8 HL I think. And then a early one here, 71, 72 plate, another Marina TC, and you can see again we've got this sort of flat dashboard the early cars had with some fake wood in it. Excellent. This one's had some different wheels fitted onto it, some sort of mini-like style ones. Marina 2 GT from 1975-76. And then a very cumbersome model name for this Austin Morris 1000 weight deluxe from 77-78. I mean, essentially it's just a Marina pickup, but that's what they were badged as. 1.3 engine from the Tolworth service station. I used to live about 3 miles from Tolworth back in the day. And then a Marina convertible by Mumford, based on 1.8 TC. Very weird, bit cluttered kind of window arrangement on these Mumford ones. I can't remember how many of them they made. This will be based on one of the other spec Marinas. Lovely sort of front grille on these, some 1975-76 P. And then we've got a car that you will see in the thumbnail, which I drove end of last year. This is a 1973 Marina Super Estate, owned by Alex Marx's assets. Her business called Alex Classics, as you can see from the things on here. And we've got some friends in here. Where's Roger gone? Roger's on the steering wheel. We've got S over Tiger, who's looking ready to pounce. He's looking like he's not been fed for a while. You don't want to get too close to her. I mean, Roger is chilling out in here. It's a bit hot for him at the moment with all his woolly coat, so he's enjoying himself in here, along with Mr. Fox and other things in here. Yeah, it's an interesting car, this. I enjoy driving it, although we should have shut the boot properly before we went for a drive first. And there is the name of the YouTube channel. There we go, viewers. Let's have a look at some Rover 200 BRM, shall we, viewers. Now, these were made from 1998, and this is one of the press cars, S960 WOM, to 2000. They had trouble selling them because they were very expensive and people didn't seem to want them, so they kept reducing the price of them, and eventually they got rid of the last ones in 2000. But yeah, these days they're worth a lot of money. They are the first appearance of what was called the Cosmos alloy wheels, fit exclusively to the 200 BRM initially, and then available on some of the road models like the 45 V6 I used to own. So this is probably a 98. These two here on a V, 1990-2000. All of them had this green paint with the red leather interior, that distinctive gear lever, and of course the orange intake at the front, which is reminiscent of the old BRM racing cars from the 30s, I think, or maybe 50s, I forget now. So another one of that sort of era. This is another one of the press cars, S970 WM. They were registered as a batch around that sort of time, late 1998. This one's been fitted with some of the later alloy wheels, which have come off an 11 spoke, probably off something like an MG ZS or something, one of the later ones. Of course, because these cars are essentially still based on the old Rover R8s, a lot of parts are changeable with various Roaders and Hondas, so you can do what you want with them really in that way. But I prefer just having the standard Cosmos wheels on them because I'm quite fond of the Cosmos wheels, having had a car with them myself. This one's the bonnet's up, so we can have a look at the 1.8 VVC engine. K-Series developing 143 horsepower, which is plenty really for a car that's as light as this. This particular car, I'm only so proud of the interior, left it open so we can have a look at all the changes, like the door cards are different and the steering wheel's different and the centre console's different and everything like that. So extraordinarily nice things. And then we've got a couple of Rover P6s, 1964, very, very early Rover P6. With the shark tooth lower grille on this as well, the lower valance I should say. Contrast here, we've got a much later car here. This is a 77 3500S, which has having SD1 wheels on it. Although someone's actually modified that lower valance to look like an early car, which is interesting. Interesting because you've got some commercial vehicles here. This is an Austin Morris J4. This is quite a late one. This is of 72-73. They started, as this information sheet says, in 1960. Got a forward control van. Elements of this actually went into the Sherpa. The sort of rear end of this is very similar to the Sherpa, which came out, I think, in 1974. So it looks a bit like that, the rear bodywork. In fact, we've got a couple of Sherpas here, so we can take a look and see. (1981-82) registration, this one, and as you can see, the kind of side profile of things is quite similar to the J4. This is a camper version. Under the Freight Rover name at the time, and this is a pickup version. Again, similar sort of area to that camper. So 81-82. Right, let's have a look at the Austin 3 litres. Very interesting looking car. I mean, they sort of clearly kept the centre section of the Land Crab, and then because it needed to have a 6-cylinder engine and rear wheel drive, they had to modify it. So it looks a little bit weird in terms of proportions, but they're actually pretty good cars, these. The thing is, when British Leyland was formed in '68 and this car just came out slightly after the merger, they didn't really need these because they had Jaguar in the portfolio as well. So this was a shame, really. This one's an automatic, very appropriate number plate there, 71 it would be only. So look down there we go. Oh, I'd like to try one of these, really. I've never got my hands on one so far, but I'd like to try one if I can. Something here even rarer, so it's a 3 litre, but it's an ambulance version. For an internal use at Lockheed Industries as an AP Lockheed. 70-71 registration. And then this one is a 70-71 with overdrive and a 4-speed manual. The very, very early ones don't have quarter lights in them, but most production ones do. Again, these two are again the same age. I don't know what it is, but I prefer this colour. So both of those are roughly the same colour to this one. Still very nice though. Wonderful. Got some Rileys, a little selection of Rileys here, that's good. So, it's an RMB from 1947. It's the day when Riley were making some fantastic cars. They weren't just rebadged versions of something else, they were all their own. And this is an even earlier thing, this is pre-war Riley. This is a 1929 Riley 9, wow. This one presumably has been on that Riley centenary run that's advertised on the plaque at the front. Probably a little bit later than the RMB, but I know so little about them, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything else. That's it for this part, viewers. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again in the next part for some more incorrect information.